About 10 days ago, I published an interview with former Warrant drummer Bobby Borg. And talking to him got me thinking about Jani Lane again. Well, just a few days after that interview was published was the anniversary of the album Love the Sin, Hate the Sinner by a band called Saints of the Underground, which was released April 22nd of 2008. And that is the final album Jani Lane performed on. 3 years later, on August 11th, 2011, at the age of 47, he was found in a hotel room in Woodland Hills, California, and the cause of death was determined to be acute alcohol poisoning. Today, I'm going to review the album Love the Sin, Hate the Sinner by Saints of the Underground.
The hair metal guru from Warren to Crew. The hair metal guru. Never forget Charlie too.
Welcome to the Hair Metal Guru. My name is Anthony. They call me the Guru. And yeah, today we're going to talk a little bit about Jani Lane and his last band project, Saints of the Underground. And when you look at his career, you get DRFSR in 89, Cherry Pie in 90. You wait 2 years to get Dog Eat Dog in 92. You wait 3 years to get Ultraphobic in 95. Then only 1 year until Belly to Belly. But then that comes out in 96. But then you get Greatest and Latest in 1999, which is mainly re-recordings of Warrant's hits. There's a few new tracks, some really cool stuff on there. Then in 2001, you get an album called Under the Influence, but that's a covers album. Again, a couple new tracks. So in 2003, he releases his solo album, Back Down to One. And I think at some point I will come around to reviewing that. But there was the occasional song here and there he recorded with other artists. But his final project was Saints of the Underground, the Love the Sinner, Hate the Sin album that came out in 2008. And that band, Saints of the Underground, was formed in 2006 by Rat drummer Bobby Blotzer and Carrie Kelly, who now plays in Night Ranger and has played in a ton of bands. And then I think House of Lords bassist Chuck Wright was in that project for a while. But originally they were called Angel City Outlaws and then ended up becoming Saints of the Underground. So they released a couple promo singles. There was a song I think called Serial Killer that was written for an Alice Cooper project. But these guys get together and they start recording in Bobby Blotzer's studio. And then I think Carrie Kelly's studio as well. This is shit that I found online. I have a couple notes here. Anyway, it was produced by Carrie Kelly and Blotzer with Jani Lane and Chuck Wright. And it was mixed by Andy Johns, who has worked with fucking some of the big, huge artists. Wild Side, Under the Influence, and hell, he's been worked with Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin. But this, is a 2008 album, so even though you hear Andy Johnson, you hear those big names, it's not like this was a big budget affair. Jani and Carrie, I think, wrote the songs. There's a couple of covers on it, but it wasn't put on a huge label, and fuck, now I'm gonna forget what label put it out on. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so it was put out by a label called Warrior Records. I've never heard of them. So obviously you're not talking fucking Atlantic or Columbia in 1990 or 1992. So this album has 10 songs, and I'm gonna go through each song and I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it. I'm gonna rate each song on a scale of 1 to 10. And then I'll kind of give you an overall summary at the end. So, Love the Sin, Hate the Sinner starts off with a song called Dead Man's Shoes. Song explodes out of the gate with Jani's vocals. It's really immediately catchy. And Jani's got these descending vocals in the verses, and the verses are so damn catchy that they actually have more of a hook than the chorus, and the chorus is solid. So this is a great song. I'm going to give it an 8. An 8 is a great score. An 8 means that, hey man, when I hear this song, I really love it. And to clarify my ratings, a song that is like a 10 is like that's a song the song Gasoline by a band called The Wild. That's a 10 because I can't get it out of my head. I got to listen to it multiple times a day. The song shit that Bobby Borg performed on called Beggars and Thieves is a 9 or a 10. I've been listening to it multiple times a day for the last since I did that interview. Now, I don't listen to Dead Man's Shoes multiple times a day, but when I hear it, I'm like, fucking A, this is a really good song. So to me, that's an 8. You start getting into filler when you start getting into the 6 range. 7 is still like, hey, a really good song. So anyway, Dead Man's Shoes, I'm going to give an 8. Track number 2 is called Tomorrow Never Comes. And you can hear that obviously this is going to be a more modern sounding song. You know it's not going to be fucking Rat Warrant circa 1990. So Tomorrow Never Comes, really cool hard rock riff right out of the gate. Janie's vocals really gruff, kind of angry. Great verses, solid chorus. I really like this song. And a common theme that you're going to hear about this album is it could use more production. Okay? Like they could have spent more time fixing it and tweaking it and working on the sound. Then it would truly explode. But it's a minor complaint. It's a very good song. I'm going to give it another 8. So we're rolling out of the fucking gate. Song number 3. It's called All in How You Wear It. Solid opening guitar riff. Verses are decent, not great. Chorus is solid, not as good as the first two, but it's not filler. So I'm going to give it a 7. Moving on to number 4. Here, the opening intro riff is decent. It's really more modern sounding. The chorus is, again, decent. I like this song. I don't love it. It ventures into filler category. The first score that to me means filler, but the upper level of filler, like, yeah, okay, I don't mind it. It's a 6. Okay. Song number 5 is called Exit. The song opens with Janie exclaiming, "This is the last time." And like with when you can look back with hindsight being 2020, like you look at the lyric and you're kind of wondering like, is he like, is this his promise to somebody? This is the last time this is gonna happen. I won't do this again. Because I mean, there was periods of sobriety. There was periods of him doing good when he was singing with Great White in 2010. He was sober. He sounded great, but then something would happen and he'd fall off. So anyway, I hear him like shouting out, "This is the last time," and it makes me think of that. The verses start slow and melodic, then starts thumping into the chorus. Very cool. The song really shows Jani Lane's ability to structure a song. There's so many different parts to it. So it's not a 9 or a 10, but I give it an 8. Song number 6 is American Girl. It's a Tom Petty cover. Well, first of all, I fucking love Tom Petty. I shit you not. And I love the song American Girl. And this is a pretty faithful cover. Yeah, they rock it up a little bit. I would have liked to have seen what they could have done if they would have made it more their own, altered the tempo, just made it different. This is a faithful cover. I'm gonna give it a 7, just because it's hard to fuck up a great Tom Petty song, and this is a great Tom Petty song. But I be honest, I wish there was more to it. So, song number 7 is called Signs of Life. Very aggressive, very modern sounding intro riff. It kind of sounds like if you're fucking listening to Godsmack or some shit like that. It's a really angry song. You finally get some melody in the chorus. Those verses just kind of lose me. It's not that you can't be heavy and angry and still be catchy, but these verses just really aren't that catchy. So I'm giving this a 5. Song number 8 is Bruised. Very cool drum intro with the guitars slowly tapping in. It's really catchy. It almost has like pop punk elements to it mixed with straight ahead hard rock. And I fucking love pop punk. It's it's hard not to look at the lyrics and look at Janie's death 3 years later and find that correlation that he was not doing well. Anyway, it's a solid song. I'm gonna give it an 8. I really think again, more production, fixing, tweaking would have given this song and the album the kick it needed. So the verse starts off like this. I'm so bruised inside. No, I'm not all right. I miss you in my life. Love you till I die. And then it gets into the chorus and it says, there is no we. We lived happy ever after. It's the ending of our chapter. Please don't leave me just because I'm not quite perfect. I assure you that I'm certain I hate to be alone. I mean, those lyrics kind of really hit me, in knowing the aftermath. So anyway, that's a really solid song. It's an 8. And that kind of reminds me, 2008 was the last time Janie tried to get back together with Warrant. And if I understand, I think the writing of these songs occurred around that time when he was starting off with Warrant. And I saw, I think it was the third show of that Warrant reunion. I went to it and I wrote a review of it for Sleaze Rocks. And I was like, it was a great show, but I remember saying it seemed like, he was saying like, hey, we're not gonna play anything new. We're gonna give you the old stuff that you wanted. And it really seemed like, holy shit, like he didn't, here he is becoming an oldies act and he never wanted to be that. And we know like a couple shows later, he's fucking wasted. He's on stage in Vegas looking like he's dead. The band can barely hold it together. So anyway, he ends up out of the band. And so that's occurring during the time that this album is being put together. So a little context. The next song, number 9, is Moonlight Mile. And it's a Rolling Stones cover. And I'll be honest, I don't know the Stones version of this. So it's hard to judge it as a cover since this is the only version I know. And maybe after I do this review, maybe I'll go listen to it. And maybe I fucking won't. Just kidding. So I purposely didn't listen to the Stones version because I was like, hey, this is an opportunity for me to judge the song based on how Jani Lane and Bobby Blotzer and Carrie Kelly put it together. So it's very slow and got a melodic intro. It's damn near a ballad. Uh, I feel like I should love it. It's slow and I love pussy slow shit. The chorus is really solid, but the verses don't do it for me. Janie does some falsetto in the verses, and I'll be honest, it's not that great. So I'm gonna give it a 7, which means it's not filler, but I was borderline 6, which is filler. So judge that how you want. I'm like right in the middle. So should I say 6.5? Something like that. Whatever. Okay. And then the last song is a song called Jimmy. And that song has been kicking around since the early Warrant days. Think there's a live concert at Gazzari's Warrant in 1987. I mean, they fucking look like kids, Janie's so fucking excited and just youthful and exuberant. It's amazing. But I think they play a version of Jimmy uh, at that concert. So the song's been around forever. It's a solid pop rock song. I don't dislike it at all, but I don't know if I love it. You feel like, okay, maybe I understood why it didn't make an album. It's catchy, but do I think I'll be revisiting it a bunch? No. So I'm giving it a 6, which is the upper edge of filler. So in conclusion, uh, production really hurts this album. You can tell the songs are there. And even with the production kind of sucking, some of the songs are so good that you're like, oh fuck, well, you know what? Even without production, they did a really good job. But you can also tell that if they had the budget, and they had a bunch of time to fix and tinker, you would have had like a fucking amazing album. You know, if you had a big label and a lot of money to put in and time to put into it. As it is, it's a very good album for the time. Okay. So it's a bummer. But like what were guys who were famous in the late 80s and early 90s, they weren't going to get a huge budget and a ton of time. So they did the best with what they could. And like I said, if you have an album that has multiple songs, 8 or above, and multiple sevens, that's a good fucking album. I just reviewed the new LA Guns album, Leopard Skin, and I gave that there were two eights on that album. There was an 8 and a 9. Okay, a couple slower songs that are fantastic. This album has some eights. There's no nines on it. Okay, but that's really good. So, um, this was a at the time it didn't seem like a big deal. Oh, just Jani Lane throwing out another album. Uh, but you know, 3 years later, you come to realize this was his last shot, and um, that makes me think differently about it. Maybe I might be fucking biased. Maybe I fucking like it so much because I'm just a huge Jani Lane fan, a huge Warrant fan, and maybe that makes me. So I would love to know what you guys think of it. I think if you're a big Warrant fan and a big Jani Lane fan, you're probably really going to like it. I think if you're just a rock fan, I think you will like it. You will find some parts of this that you will be like, "Hey, shit, that's really good." Is it up there with the best of the Warrant catalog? Absolutely not. But it's a solid rock album by some rock guys who probably in 2008 were like, fuck, man, I can't just sit around. I can't tour constantly. I have these songs in my head. I want to do something with them. So they did. They wrote some songs, they got it together. They got fucking Andy Johns to come in and do some work on it. And they put out Love the Sin, Hate the Sinner, and did the best they could. And I'm glad they did. So I know the album's on streaming. I bought this, and fuck, I don't have the CD here. All my CDs are downstairs, and I have thousands. And when I moved into my house, they all got out of order. So I could have spent a bunch of time digging around. But trust me, when you look at my house, yes, I have a ton of rock shit. So I do have the CD. Anyway, you can probably find it on eBay and you can listen to it on streaming. Hey, if you know this album, go in the comments and let me know what you thought of it. Let me know what songs I was wrong about, what songs I was right about, or what you thought about it. Hey, follow me on X at Hair Metal Guru. Hey, every Saturday I host Hair Metal Mansion on Rock 101 KLOL. You will find the link to that in the description. There's Hair Metal Guru merch, also link in the description. And shit, what am I missing? Shit, I got to give a shout out to my subscribers, the members who pay a little bit of money to help support the channel. Truthfully, you guys are the people who make the guru go. I'm going to try to put their names in here on the video. Hey, I'm downstairs in my gym, and I know, like I was just talking about the members, so I want to just personally shout them out, and I'm going to add this to the video. Jared Mitchell, Patrick Reeves, who's on the channel all the time, and he fucking subscribes, so thank you. Ash's Antics, a buddy of mine, I just did a video on his channel. Rob C, Ryan V, who's always on the channel. Ryan VK. John Gothridge, Michael Mallory, Billy Weeks, Rory C, TCB, Kappa Phil, love that name, Kappa Phil. Lori, who is we chat all the time, has become a really good buddy of mine. The 80s guy, Casey Tom, who I've met, is a great guy. Mick Friendo, Metal Mark, Matt C, who has been a member for fucking ever, and Jay Johnson has been a member the longest. He's been a member for 11 months. Matt C for 10 months, Metal Mark for 10 months, Mick Friendo for 8 months, Casey's been a member for 6 months, and then, so anyway, thank you so much, you guys. Truthfully, I really do appreciate it. If you become a member, you get early access to some of the videos, you get first response to comments, and just really you help me do what it is I do, and you allow me to do it more. And hopefully one day I'll this is what I'll be able to do just all the time is do music. Really, I just appreciate any time you guys spend watching or supporting the channel. Until the next video comes out, my name is Anthony. They call me the Guru. Take care of yourselves.